what the plan is. It's just like you usually just see everyone spend everything except the AWPer. That tends to be what you do in that previous round.
Well, I suppose they felt like they spent enough.
Well, yes, that's the thing. Like, you always wonder with everything. You have to analyze every single decision, don't you? Especially when it's a team like G2, because that's just how existence is. So that's an exciting prospect. Whenever I see something different and it's from G2, I'm excited because I'm thinking, okay, what's the thinking behind this?
Yeah. These people are brain engaged.
Yeah.
Hellraisers don't have a lot of info as to where the G2 players might be just yet, but you don't need to give Woxic too many opportunities because he is tagging these people like he's on Facebook. Issa's there for the rifle support as well. Always nice to see rifle support. What? Okay. Okay, they are heavily tagged, these T players, but there is damage to be done. They've done almost pretty much $10,000 of damage so far. Bondik with a nice off angle around the boxes, and that Molotov will hurt. Continuing to rotate, and now they've got a 2 versus 1 with DeadFox. They can try and use these numbers. DeadFox has to be really careful. You can see him conserving the bullets, gets his bell rung, but he will just about finish it off. Nice upgrade for him, which reduces the damage done by G2. And here we are, 10-8 as Kenny S and Woxic both by AWPs. This gonna be good.
Yeah, and I think it seems like G2 have perfect money pretty much for max grenades. And well, they're missing some Molotovs here or there, which Shox could buy more. Shox could afford more nades unless the money is being read wrong to me on the scoreboard here. But
he's just been legged.
That's a good start. And G2, what's the plan here? They are pretty default at the beginning of this round, just taking dark control, longhouse, slowly building into middle with a delay. It's very standard stuff. So this could be them just setting the precedent now. This is what our defaults are going to be looking like. And there's lots of ways to branch out of this. B split, A split. You can set up all kinds of different plays from this. They're also waiting to see if there's any pushes from Hellraisers. We have Body putting a watchful eye on dark pushes. G2 at the same time pressuring towards the A side. And they can see the trajectory of grenades, and they can understand positioning of the CTs. And there's a big challenge in long. Actually, they've traded out. This is a good look here for G2.
Woxic flashed twice from long. Does he continue to pursue? There is, well, he doesn't know what exactly is going on there. And he's not going to peek the corner. But Angel's moving forward towards long. Is this a distraction? We've got Body throwing grenades into B from the tunnel in the meantime. He's throwing the lurk smoke. Now you can't even jump up to double stack from behind that smoke. So you've got to be really careful. Obviously you can burst through it as well. You can get pop flashes into the middle of that smoke. So that's scary, but it's not pulling people towards B.
Oh, Body, he missed the jump up, and so he started shooting when he was in the air. That could have been a frag. G2 have been suggesting they were going A the whole time, always thinking to go B, and now they've been spotted out. Issa with a beautiful position, catching them through CT, and now it's just going to be on Body trying to make the frags here. But the bomb is lost in middle, and Shox is 1 HP, and there's surely nothing he can do from this point forwards. 5 seconds as well, so there's no time. But that was such a good round. Otherwise, from G2, they really pulled rotation to A, and they were working really hard on that, and then they wanted to do a fast B hit, and Body misses the first shots, then they get shut down in middle because the alarm bells are ringing. Great stuff from Issa.
I wondered if Kenny thought it was random shot through the smoke. I don't think either of them actually saw Issa in his position, and I do wonder if he's feeling the pressure. Obviously it's his first major essentially, and we saw how much it meant to him to get to this stage, and now he's playing against some really big names, but he seems to be delivering for the moment. He is actually just behind Shox. Shox 21 frags, leading the server. Issa in second place with 17. And now after a short timeout we will continue. So we've got the hero AK-47 onto Shox. I don't think anybody will argue with that. Body's pretty nasty with an AK-47 as well though. I think as a new name he still doesn't get the credit he deserves. Woxic with a nice tag. Again, you don't need to give him 2 chances. He'll hit you somewhere.
This should be very easy for Issa. 1, where's the trade? Where's the trade? There's no trade. Issa shuts it all down. Oh, that's
my
just
God.
clinical, clean from Issa. You love to see it, and that is an even nicer way to finish it off. 4 kills, just super clean from Issa. Hellraisers 10-10, they tied all up.
This game is not that easy. Why are you making it look so easy? The first one was somewhat laboured, but after that, jeez, it's like he's just pouring custard. Oh man, it's too early for that. It's too early. 10-10, and both teams are on the bye once again. Kenny has AWP, armor, and nothing else. He is in the black and white. He's keeping it simple. That's a great start from him. Bonic taken out, trying to deploy a grenade. But the CTs will retain possession of long at least.
Yeah, but that's a great advantage to play with as a tease. You have so much time in the rounds to try to create an awkward spot for the Hellraisers. I mean, you can see there's so much, if you look at the minimap, there's so much space between A and B. That rotation time is really, really long. So it creates a spot where the CTs have to hold position or take a really big risk, get caught out of position rotating. I think that's a fantastic defensive shot. This has not worked out well for G2, trying to push this into the AWP. The repositioning of Hellraisers, very solid. And now Kenny he's got to do more here. He's got to do a lot more than just that one pick earlier.
That grenade stings. That bomb is still exposed on a short position. Finally, he thins the numbers yet more. And now the question is, do you stand your ground with this bomb? Do you defend? The rifle support continues. Angel moving forward. That's so cheeky. He sees Kenny falling off the box as well. Doesn't need to pursue. 40 seconds remain, and Shock says to do something now. And he knows he might know that there's one more player in that short position. 35 seconds to collect that bomb, which has been a problem for a while now. And it seems that Shocks will be the rifle support for Kenny, as Angel will be for Woxic. All 4 players. This round is going to be won or lost on shorts.
Yeah, is this a Shocks and Kenny-esque kind of round? Woxic, such a strong position, and he catches Kenny, and he catches Shock as well. You can't fault the man, and that's going to be 11 now for Hellraisers. Oof. Hellraisers looking like they are warming up.
They've got some really good players on their team, man. They are zoned in as well. You can see the level of focus. Woxic so strong. Ooh. That's a nice attempt from Kenny, but obviously Woxic's position is just too strong. And he's ready for it. G2 forcing it up now with the rifles, and Kenny S on the CZ. He's keeping 12-15 in the bank. This is so important, a map for an AWP. You want him playing at his best. Angel with the molly, there's a team support flashbang as well, but now the numbers game can be used by the T side because the smoke was diffused. It's a nice crouch peek from Body, and long has to be given up by the CTs.
Yeah, a gun that could potentially be collected for Kenny as well. And I do wonder, I think there was just no flash on short in that previous round, and when they first lost their players on short. So I wonder if that will be an adjustment in future rounds if GT, but this one...
Kenny's just used the HE to grenade the bomb, the gun to himself. Because you can see how exposed the gear was for the CT, but he had a HE in the hole and bounced it to himself, and now he's got a rifle.
And you can see they can't go long. They just don't have any nades. There's literally no grenades on G2, so going long is way too exposed. Short could maybe work. It's still difficult. There's a lot of exposure, so the B bombs might be feeling good at this point, and that's very nice from Shocks. Catches Issa pushing forwards. Risks taken by Hellraisers, and they are not going well. And this player's dying all across the map here. This is hard to keep track of, but the bomb is now going to be collected, and they will move it towards B.
And bomb was lurking long this whole time, but there was still a question mark as to how to get to the site. Bondi gets his bell rung immediately, and there's a masterstroke play from Shocks, who was just lying in wait, using his teammates for the bait. 11-11, I'm sure will feel great.
Shocks 25 and 15. Shocks consistent in this matchup. Beautiful fragging here from him.
Ooh, just a tip. He sees, there's plenty of money on the CT side for another buy. Hellraisers taking a tactical timeout. They're second last of this game. Having a chitty chat. Woxic pulling the AWP out again. This is the first round, it must be said, this is the first round that G2 have won in this half. It has been all Hellraisers apart from that, so opportunity knocks for them. And again, it is, from this perspective of Hellraisers, it is all about, this is our chance to reset G2. They had the max loss bonus for a while, and it still took them a while to get around in. So let's reset them and win this game. That's got to be the mindset for Hellraisers. AWPs continue for both teams. There's a smoke and the CTs will jump early just after it blooms. Often a sniper will delay a second or so after the smoke blooms to take a shot through. And we have seen tags in prior rounds. Smith's going really far forward. If there's a risk of a sniper player towards, or even not, towards A, you can stand on that box to elevate your position on short, so you get legged, hopefully, rather than shot in the chest.
So we'll get a mid-B burst here for G2. Angel, they throw a flash for him, and whoa, nades in hand, and Angel gets a lovely lineup for that spray down. It's Smith to try to save it, but it's now down to Body in a 1v4, and the bomb is lost. Pretty much everything is lost right now for Body.
This is a huge round for Hellraisers. Obviously, G2 at this point are unlikely to plant the bomb as well, and that would be much needed money. Body spots one, but what's he seen on the radar as well? Angel, oh,
The bait.
that was... Oh, that's got to be frustrating. Again, every frag counts in that situation. Now what did G2 do? That is a huge, huge round for Hellraisers as we start to get to the late stage. Angel surely wasn't expecting to get 3 out of this, but you still see the spray adjustment for the third player as well, and he's been fragging for his side this tournament so far.
Yeah, and it worked out so perfectly before the smoke could come in. Angel's teammate flashes in for him. Then on a repeat, he catches another GT player with a nade in his hand. It just worked out so perfectly there for Hellraisers. Very well finished off by Angel. Now things definitely are starting to get really difficult here for G2. You know, their money is in a place where they have to save or half buy, and that'll bring Hellraisers to 13. And Hellraisers have a lot of momentum at the moment. And unlike Hellraisers, G2 don't seem to have that round where, you know, we rush B and we just pick up a round, and you know we can sort of restart ourselves a bit. It feels like G2 have tried a lot of stuff. I feel like a lot of stuff they've tried has been good. Like, I like their defaults, for example, and I feel like they've got unlucky a couple of times. So I have to see what they think is the best way forwards, but they won't have many chances after this round.
Double sniper route. Desert Eagles are out. We've seen him do damage already. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Body coming in hot like Bane. Shox, in the meantime, has cleared out the long position. He hasn't quite peeked towards the site just yet. He doesn't know if car is safe, but this is something to bear in mind as we watch the rest of G2 move around the map. Now, Woxic's playing the alternative angle, he gets baited, but Issa is there again. Hellraisers have been great with the rifle support round after round for the sniper rifle player. The Molotov perfectly timed, and a lot of danger has been taken away, but Shox finally gets a pick off. He's moved up towards the A site, but a bomb needs to cross. They've heard the deagles being fired. How does Body get the bomb to a safe place? There's even a CT on short, and I think they know that the bomb is here. Look at the angles that Issa is holding. He knows Shox is on 8, so we will start moving his position, but they know that Shox and the bomb are in 2 separate places. Body's got to be careful. They're essentially double peeking there, and now Shox has to move forward. Hasn't picked up a gun just yet. 1 versus 3. You never quite know.
No Kevlar as well. Life is difficult, and they're surely watching. Issa's surely watching the smoke here. Every edge of it, indeed. Issa's been fantastic for Hellraisers so far. He is actually top fragging for them, and he is closing in on Shox. He's at 25, Shox on 26 kills at the moment. But it's 13 rounds for Hellraisers now and 11 for G2. If G2 are not to pick up this round, life starts to get very, very difficult for them. And, well, best not think about it if you're on their side. Let's see if they can scrap something together here. Kenny S on the AWP again, looking for the cross shot, and he won't get a connection.
Looks like he's going to get 2.
That would be something, but it was nothing.
Bondic and Angel have securely taken long on this occasion. Shox will be outside long for the time being while his teammates move around the map. Kenny has the bomb in tow, holding angles in case somebody peeks from B slope. But Hellraisers are not that way inclined for the moment. Angel in CT spawn, as one can see. And Woxic will be on long. Bondic left in the pit. So Woxic has 1 flashbang. Now with Bondic in the pit, if he gets action later on, he can just call for that flash. And maybe Angel will do the same. So something to keep an eye on. Now we see that G2 have 3 players in that short position, and they seem to be moving quickly.
Existence with some harassment here. So that Molotov is really important as well, just to figure out what the setup could look like for Hellraisers. Because if you get information as to how the CTs are set up, it tells you as a tease what is the most effective round to play, A split or B split, typically. In this kind of a setup, where now Hellraisers have Angel and CT spawn, the B split gets weaker, as Angel can provide support and crossfires, even through smoke, and he gets the spot as well. Hellraisers in trouble now. He gets picked off. My God, Kenny won't stop, and this push is coming in hot and fast.
Of course, completely out of position. Isa doing huge work though. Does he see the player coming from the window? He's got a great angle. Oh my God, that's a nasty tap from him. But now he's compromised. Surely he's compromised. Going for the 1 taps on Shocks as well, but he's left it at 1 versus 2. It could have been much worse than that. Bondic alone. Do they know where he's coming from? There's a gap in that smoke. But no one's going to give it up. How does he get the 1 versus 1? Kenny looking towards the tunnel position. He's exposed. Shocks will have to do the door and the balcony at the same time. We sees him. I think he's heard Kenny, but he won't be able to do anything else. There is the round for G2. They keep it close and expensive for the CT side, who have 3 players who can fall by in this round.
Yeah, that play from Isa was so cool. You can see Kenny doing a lot. Wow, what on earth was that second kill? Kenny with a hell of a round. I mean, I guess you needed to have someone go off like that against what Isa was bringing to the table. Again, Isa just really performing here. Another player on Hellraisers that just makes you think, wow, Hellraisers they're going places.
I've got to say, when you see him playing like that in such a high-pressure situation, when he has no cover, no help, no flashbang support, he has players coming from tunnel and from the window at the same time. He's got multiple in the window, and he still goes for taps like that. That is a player where you have to wonder where his ceiling is, because it's nowhere near where he's playing now. That player has a lot more to offer us. That looked absolutely nasty, and I can't wait to see more from him.
Yeah, Hellraisers are definitely perhaps the most exciting sort of new look team from out of the CIS region, I've got to say. Really exciting indeed. But can they close the game? They're 1 round ahead. The money for both teams is very poor, and it comes down to the AWPs, and it's a trade.
Wow.
Woxic, though, he's going to net them a kill, and a 3 versus 4 now for G2. They've got lots of time and positioning too. Shock's actually in a spot to maybe save the round here. He's really deep on middle. He's looking for someone to rotate. There's no one rotating just yet. Hellraiser is still holding around that long position with 2 players, expecting maybe a re-execution, but it's not going to come.
Body doesn't really have support at the moment. He's carrying the bomb. He can't necessarily drop the bomb because that would concede his position. So what does he do? What is the play forward? Shocks has waited for info and he just hasn't got it. So he's trying to do something, and it seems he's trying to offer effect towards the B-bomb side. They're catching the CTs out of position once more. They're exchanging gifts like it's an office Christmas party, and now the bomb has been spotted. Shocks on the rotation as well. Look at Woxic's position. This is so crucial for his side, but he has to retreat. Dead Fox moving towards the short area.
Oh, Shock's playing that so smart, pulling rotation away. His teammates understanding when to push for it, and now they're just finishing it off. Shock's another kill for him. Or actually, no, that's his first kill. He feels like he's done so much more in this round, but up to Woxic now to save it as he pushes in from short. He was another player that suffered being caught out of position. He's going to actually swap out for the AK-47. Multiple players to deal with. The tap's surely going to be coming out now as he pushes forwards. Can he find something? There's some damage onto Body, but Shocks still in where Shocks is. Body is up to him, and he'll do the job. My goodness. What a smart play. Shocks are really threatening that. They were so convinced it was going to be B. Caught on the rotation. Beautiful from G2.
Look at that adjustment from Woxic as well, the jumping player. Man, even at the end, watching his aim here, sorry, that's Body, but when Woxic comes up the short position, like, just watching his aim is almost like a 1.6 aimbot, but it's really awesome to watch. I wish my aim was that good. And then some. $2,000. Wow, this G2 have broken the CT money at the most crucial point of the game. They put themselves in a very winning position now.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You couldn't cut it at a finer timing. Let's see, though, if there's any shenanigans to be had here for Hellraisers with the USPs. You never know. Smith is actually the most forward player and also the player with the bomb, too, at the moment, but it's fine. It's in the lower dark position, so it's not too exposed. What are we going to see here from G2? Just getting some information. Shox is walking along, so he's the most forward player now for his team in enemy territory, and he's getting a lot of information here. A lot of information. And he could even just close the round down, because obviously if, he spots a couple players and he frags them, then, well, it's a 5v3 and his teammates, oh, hello. Giving Issa a taste of his own medicine. And that's the A bomb site that he's got now. His teammates can rally to this position and they can plant the bomb, and it's basically over for Hellraisers in this round as expected. Now it's just about watching Shox shooting people in the face. This has been a very cool game of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think one of the most entertaining Dust 2s I've seen at the major so far, for me personally.
I think either team would be a deserving winner.
Yeah.
Both teams are playing well. It's easy to focus too much on G2 because obviously we have the old favourites back and it's a journey of discovery with them, but Hellraisers are playing well as well. So Hellraisers are going to have some shortcomings. Woxic won't be on the AWP in this round, and they may not have all the grenades that they may have wanted. Now, do they go aggressive? Do they go for a fast short player, something like that, to try and make up for this? Some prime real estate, if you will. It seems it will be the take of the long position, Angel and Bondic once again. Shox just lurking for the time being, and out they go. But this is a big investment in what little utility they have. In the meantime, Smiths is getting his Shox impression on. Has he been spotted though? I think he has, and he's been taken out. Early advantage for Hellraisers.
Yeah, G2 is still not in the B bomb site, and there's a big rotation from Hellraisers, a massive rotation, and G2 they can't go into B at this point, and the bomb is cut off from Shox as well. I don't know how G2 can get out of this position. They are choked off in every single sense, and KennyS, oh my god, he has no idea how close he was to just getting absolutely wrecked by Angel, and then just going to hear them running into spawn.
This is so weird though, because surely they don't expect Shox to be in this position, and now how many frags does Shox get? I was going to say they don't know where he is, and that could be really compromising. Now they do know where he is. They realise that the long rotation is in. Oh boy, Angel, he's got to give himself enough space. This is so crucial. In the meantime, his team are continuing to advance towards A, starting to go wide again to spot the first player, and there will be a trade. Body now, 1 versus 3. Which way does he go? Hellraisers kind of have to watch the middle position. He sees one going towards that B bomb site, but Woxic can CT spawn. There isn't all the time in the world here, so he will be heard by Woxic, and now Woxic and Deadfox can go for double pick that trade situation. There's Deadfox going wide, and that will be enough. Hellraisers managed to stabilize 3 AKs taken into the next round. I'm sure they would love an AWP, but 3 AKs is not too shabby at all.
The crazy thing is that Smiths had such a good timing. You can see, Smiths getting taken down by Issa here, and you feel like if G2 had just really committed hard for that play and just all in with it, that they would have won that round. But you can never know, and they gave themselves another way out by having Shox lurking on the map, and you can see that it almost worked out. Shox picks up the orb, doesn't manage to find himself that fast timing on the kill onto long, so orb goes back into the hands of Kenny, and G2 settling back into a default with the Xbox smoke, can cover an approach towards short, and then they can go on the information hunting mission, find out where the CTs are standing, and then decide whether they'll go for the A or the B hits. Molotov to deal with any positions players positioned close to the double doors, and there will be none. So this is all information. So far this is all suggesting that it is a 2-3 setup, which does encourage a B play, but we'll see if there's an adjustment from Hellraisers. Surely this round wins the match, because nobody got no money left. Nobody's got no cash. Woxic has 1 flash, which is interesting based on his position. The 3 AKs. So again, if Bondic has issues later on, the flash can be offered, but it looks like we're going to have the numbers game towards that B bomb site. They see nobody holding the alternative angle in mid, so the information is just not there. Hellraisers are playing a reactive situation here. Deadfox sees a lot, but what can he really do in this situation? He's in trouble. Some flashes towards mid, they don't know what's going on. The exit is there, but in the meantime, they can only do so much on the B bomb site existence. That's a huge frag from him, a big gamble from Woxic, and they can't afford to lose this, Hellraisers. Yeah, this is a really well executed B split for multiple reasons, and as you say, this is a horribly difficult decision for Hellraisers on Bondic and Angel's part, because do they go for this? There's no money in the hole. You're in a 2v3. You have one flashbang. It's a really difficult call here. Angel gets team flashed as well as he peeks into the bomb site. Things are not looking in any sense easy here for Hellraisers. They'll have to back away and save. And again, G2, they did something here that they crossed their T's and dotted their I's perfectly on the T side. But they worked into a default. They got information, or they had the best guess they could possibly have as to what the CT setup was. They realized that it was a 2-3, and then they go for the B split. And that is just the ABC 1-2-3s of playing Dust 2 T side. But you see a lot of teams that won't get the information, and they'll just gamble it and just hope that the setup is weak against what they're playing for. And G2, they made it as sure as they could. It still looks scary. When I see Dead Fox and Easter standing on the bomb site, I'm afraid that everyone's just going to explode on G2's side.
Well, Hellraisers have managed to get something out of this. Woxic on the scout. This may be very interesting indeed, but we have Kenny creeping at the back. There is something you can stand on in T-Spawn as well to elevate your position. I want to say I saw Device using it, but I could be mistaken about that. But it's definitely one of the snipers did in the previous week. Bondic alone in the long area, and Woxic is a while away from him. He's a distance away, rather. That makes more sense. Shock's having a look. It's great to see Shock's lurking on this map as well. The freedom he has been afforded, just concentrate on doing his thing, trying to find openings and information to abuse. And he's threatening something. Bondic doesn't have a smoke grenade to deal with Shock's lurking, but there'll be no rotation just yet from Hellraisers.
Yeah, another default here really from G2. They go into that short control. Between 1 minute mark and the 1:15 mark is the typical timing that a team on a default on the T side will be arriving at short. And in all this time, it's a very routine development of map control for the Ts, where you get information, you try to push CTs from forward positions if they have them, so they don't understand what you're doing. And so here they'll go and just throw those nades in onto CT. We can see that they're not necessarily committing straight away with them though. So, they can look for a reaction here from Hellraisers. Another B split, but they're altering the timings. Angel again in this side of the smoke. So dangerous.
Oh, are they really going to take this to overtime with such a bad vibe? Then he runs with Dead Fox. That's a two-man spray down for him. That should be the round, and overtime secured, but Shox is in a 1 versus 2. Never count him out for sure. He is absolutely the person you want in this situation. Spots one of the two players, has to get the bomb down, going for double stack. In the meantime, these CTs are charging, and he could get a 1 versus 1. He knows where both players are now. Shox, can you seriously do this? Woxic by the doors. Bondic coming through. He continues to move. Shox needs 1 versus 1. Big headshot from him, and now Bondic, he's moving around double stack. He's got the AK. Shox, they both got AKs, but Shox has only 12 HP. Can he really do this? He was so close. Just the 1 bullet needed for Bondic, and that will allow him to take it to overtime. You see it in your mind's eye. Always with Shox, you're like, he's gonna clutch it. You know he is Shox.
Oh my god.
But not this time. He will have more opportunities.
Oh, you just see him doing that. You just see it every time, don't you?
Shox,
you're completely right.
And Issa both on 34 frags.
That's crazy.
After 30 rounds.
They're so good. It wouldn't be any more fitting than to have an overtime, the first game of the day. I think it was 23 overtimes last week in 4 days of play or whatever it was. That's
I know Alex is really keen for more overtimes.
Yeah, I mean just give it to me.
I really want some overtimes.
It's a major, Jace. Give me the overtime.
To be honest, I want more of this. This for both these teams. I want more of this. I want more Issa. I want more Shox. I want more frags.
This is incredible stuff. Oh man, that was so awesome. Just seeing Shox. He got. Let's not forget he got tagged as he was going to go for the plant by the AWP as well, down to half HP, and he's still like shoulder peeking and getting tagged more, and still picking his fight. I don't know how you do that.
Kenny going for a pick long. Oh my god, that was so tight through the keyhole. But Woxic has an AWP as well. Anything you can do, I can do as well. Leave it to you guys at home to decide who does it better. Body leaving the bomb at the bottom of the B halls. Ooh. You do wonder. A meeting of the minds. The T is taking control of the short position now, and Shox is still lurking long. Bondic is the only person towards the A side at the moment. So you see the change from the Hellraiser side now with a bigger focus on mid. It has been a hole in the defense for them. Woxic with a rare miss. And he's down to 42 HP.
Yeah, he actually got tagged through the door. The reaction shot from Kenny. That is scary stuff. Issa, speaking of scary stuff, a few bullets flying over his head. And now Bondic looking to defend Pit. Will there be some flashbangs here? Bondic, of course, looking towards the doors. Would be quite susceptible to a flashbang, but it's the raw peak that comes in. He doesn't get any damage though. But he's got the information for his team. Will there be some flashbangs thrown from his teammates? He does have a man on the site. It's actually Woxic. No grenades on him though.
He just threw 2 flashbangs.
Oh right, I missed that. Bondic is in a lot of trouble. He's being pushed further and further back, and Woxic can't really pick anybody off to save him.
Woxic has to have a big performance here. He knows there's going to be a split of the site. The Molotov's coming in to make things worse. He can't get the flick though. Body will take him down, and now Issa has to do a lot once again. They're going wide. Oh no, it's not a transfer. It's Dead Fox. I thought that was absolutely crazy. Dead Fox, did he see the shadow there of the player? I don't know. That could have been a free frag for him. If you are... Oh my god. Okay then. Okay, I didn't even see the clock.
I didn't even see that either. I just thought they had it.
If you're standing on the ledge on short, your shadow does project to CT spawn, so you have to be careful about that. Cool, blimey son. This one is going down to the wide. That's just the first round of overtime. And it will be Hellraisers to win it. G2 don't get the plant bonus. The second AWP will be out this time. Issa and Woxic. Issa with the AWP as well. Having a look through the mid doors. They're getting cheeky now, but the angle is still being held. But Kenny won't go for another peek.
So fast. Bondic finds himself a 1v1. That's really good work off of the utility that Angel was providing behind him. And using the smoke to isolate that T. Now they can run away. But they're down a man still. Smith's pressuring middle. We saw Shox doing this before, pulling rotation. And look at this, Smith's teammates. They're all just pushing up A long, just having a merry old stroll towards the A bomb site. Smith will die, yes, but, well, there's a free access to that A bomb site. Small gap there, of course, but not too much that Angel can do about it. They are so sorely out of position. The quick boost could opt to help them, and indeed it will. That's the bomb down on the site. A chance here now for Hellraisers.
G2 already rotating to the long position, expecting that the bomb plant was free, but apparently not. A fantastic boost, and that will slow them down. No more grenades to cross either, but Kenyes will see that no one's picking in CT spawn. What did G2 make of this? Kenny running back towards that long position now, but Bondic and Angel are coming in from short. Bondic has a smoke grenade. If they can take up short Shox on the site itself, then they can go for the smoke diffuse. Not guaranteed by any means, however. And G2 have realized that it's probably going to be a short play. That's going to be the focus. A 1 versus 1 becomes a 3 versus 1, and now it's Kenny S versus 3. They have the flashbang. Doesn't get the target though. Kenyes doesn't have time to go for a second peek on the second player, and that's 2 from 2 for Hellraisers.
The crazy thing is that if Kenny hits that second shot, even if he dies on the next engagement, he probably saves enough time to win the round still. 4K
from Bondic in that round as well. He gets the boost from number 6. Well done for him. This is a really good boost. I hope we see more of this in future. Always awesome when it comes out. And it most certainly helps. Hellraisers took G2 completely off guard. Let's see if they have any... they have no issues with the weaponry on their team. Good grenades as well for G2, and that bomb plant certainly helped.
And another fast pick attempt coming in here from... or even a fast take from G2. Onto long, and blind as Kenny. Rattles off the shot anyway. Oh, he gets a leg as they jump back across, and Shox is good for the headshot. This is an explosive round here on long. Both teams going all in this position, committing everything. Smiths, in the meantime, again, playing shenanigans towards middle, trying to cut off rotation. He'll do just that. Although there is a creep from Dead Fox in the upper dark. He'll meet Smiths, and oh my god, Smiths, how did he get that one? My god, G2, they needed a round, and that's the way you can do it.
Much needed round from G2. Mid doors have been so interesting. Also, we didn't really do a Go TV pick, but when Kenny is on a T side on multiple maps, the way you've seen him have those long picks where he peaks in the tightest angle, he's really good at knowing how to line up those angles before he takes his shot, before he peaks. The same if you see him peeking jungle from Palace on Mirage as well, he has a very similar thing where as soon as he peaks, he's on point, so someone's there, they're probably going to die. 1 round lead for Hellraisers moving into the second half. Shox on 35 frags and Issa level once again. 35 frags for him as well.
Oh, let's see. Existence losing some chunks out of his body. And that's a good way to start off a round. That shot is deceptively difficult, I have to say. The cross shot. It's very rare you see players get it consistently. Very slow open here from Hellraisers. Really slow default so far. Slowly but surely finding their way to shorts. Perhaps paranoid of G2 and their aggression.
Yeah, let's not forget G2's CT side in normal time. France won the World Cup and Smith wanted to play football in T-Spawn. So Hellraisers will make sure none of that nonsense is happening.
Good catch by Sleggy there. The timing of Shox's grenade. Slightly too early.
45 seconds on the clock. Dead Fox is still just waiting outside the B bomb site. Shox moves in that direction. So 3B and 2A, the reliable hands of Kenny S holding down that short position. Haven't really seen much for them to suggest it's an A play just yet, perhaps. We've got a smoke on short now. Kenny S moving forward, perhaps playing anti-flash. Now we've got Angel jumping into CT spawn, so it will be a split of the B bomb site, I think it's fair to say. 20 seconds on the clock. But Dead Fox is the only lurker in B, and they're not expecting 3 players here, surely. As the first one taken out, can G2 hold?
Yeah, big frags from Issa once again, but Shox is somehow doing the damage. Almost gets himself another one, leaving Dead Fox quite weak. And it's very difficult here for Body and Kenny. Yes, but Body's going to open things up. I don't know if they can know how weak the remaining players are, but there's a fantastic argument to go for this. They have a single flashbang from Kenny. He's going to swap out for the M4 as well. Very smart decision. And just in tandem, they'll get both kills. Very, very nice retake coming in from G2. And that will be the defuse.
Those bursts from Shox were absolutely disgusting. They were so fast. That was amazing play. Amazing. And don't forget the changes that the developers made to reward burst fire, because that wasn't always possible to do something like that. So that was really nasty from Shox. So just seeing glimpses, glimmers, teases of the level Shox is able to demonstrate when he is just doing his thing. This is fantastic stuff. 17 apiece. 37 frags for Shox, 37 frags for Issa. No one's giving it up just yet.
Yes, incredible performances from them so far. Bonding straight out of the doors, running backwards.
That's the play they were talking about on the desk, just running backwards out of long, I think Threat mentioned.
Doesn't get himself into the pit though, and G2, they are going to reconfigure themselves towards that short area. And G2 showed in regulation really strong defenses of the A bomb site, even though they maybe were in 5v5s and they'd given up long completely. And that was impressive. Not a lot of teams are able to do that so well as they were doing in regulation. And Hellraisers, they've got so much time now. They can expect that G2 will be occupying short at this timing, because they've taken long, they still have long, they've got a player in pit. So if G2 aren't playing short, where are they? That's got to be a question for Hellraisers. Only Kenny here.
Can he get 2 shots out of this? If he doesn't play anti-flash, can he get 2 shots? There's the first flash. Okay, there's the first shot. He will get blinded. Secondary, and he won't get the second flash off. Grenade shot off after all. Okay, there we go. Body on the slope now to try and hold down the A bomb site. The Molotov is there. I don't think they've seen the bomb just yet, but Smiths might have an engagement with the bomb. One rock will take him out. That could have been crucial. That could have lost the round. And now the bomb's going towards B.
What on earth do you do here? Do they just go for the chase? Woxic on the AWP. I'm not even sure how he found Shox. That was pretty ridiculous. Shox thought he was safe, but you can't play the shenanigans more than once. Woxic with the peek out of the window, and for G2 now, they've got to be very careful. That's a warning shot across the bow, and I mean, surely you got to be afraid now. Woxic just could be anywhere with that AWP. How do you bust open this bomb site? Looks like they're going to be going for it regardless. Oh, some decent damage, but not the finish there from Body. Maybe if he could have gotten that frag somehow, there would be a chance. But obviously now at this point, Existence has to back away. I don't know if there's an AWP for him to find somewhere, but that would be nice.
If you have a HE grenade, you can run at the doors of B and bounce the HE off the back wall. So if anybody's standing where Woxic was, it does pretty good damage to them. But the situation was less than ideal for G2. You can see how tight things are. Woxic's first shot from the window started strafing just before he took his shot against a very dangerous G2 side. Can be concerning to give them opportunity, but he continues to deliver. I was seeing that on the radar while all the stuff was going on towards the A sites, and if Smith somehow found a frag there, this round could be very different. But it's Hellraisers who have 18. It's the first to 19 to take it, so they've got match point now, Hellraisers.
And they're going to go for that B play. It was so successful in regulation. Smith's had a body block play before, it didn't work. He's got to make it better this time. That is way better here from Smith. Gets the 4! He gets all 4! That is incredible. Talk about an improvement. You can't ask for more than that from Smith. And that is going to deny Hellraisers the match. And it's going to be another overtime.
That was fantastic. And very different Smiths you see now than the sheepish one in the first situation. I thought maybe gets 2 kills out of this. He gets 4 kills out of it. Absolutely ridiculous. That's one way to shut down a round. I mean, core blimey.
Do you know what's awesome about that, James? So in the previous round, Woxic just nails Shox trying to play his smoke shenanigans on the A site. Shox's play previously with that smoke ruined a round for Hellraisers. And then of course, you know, and that was maybe like a guaranteed answer for G2. So then what was a guaranteed answer for Hellraisers was that B rush and taking down Smiths. And now Smith shows the immediate adjustment, just kills everyone. So I love that that tit for tat that we're seeing.
I can see Shox twisting the headset cables. That's not good. Making them all bendy when they're nice and straight.
Overtime too. Let's go. Let's go. Overtimes. This is the major of overtime so far. This is amazing.
Were you expecting anything else?
Whoa, there we go.
Well, Smiths won't be having a great performance on this particular round because Woxic says no. Shox 37 frags. Isa 37 frag. Excuse my coughing. Asthma sucks. Kenya's Existence starting to creep now. They have to get something back. But Woxic is waiting for them, and he's in an elevated position. Oh, that's a very quick adjustment as well after looking through the doors. A fantastic start for Hellraisers.
Oh, you're going to get your wish, James. Existence picks up the AWP. I'm not sure how much play he's going to get out of it in this round. But he, at this point, can afford to do whatever he wants. They need a big risk to pay off. But look at this. Woxic it seems like he just knows. He's on the angle already. Existence gets the tag, but he's going to be down himself to 14 HP. It's looking grim now for the French.
Not the start you wanted, but Hellraisers still need to win this round. They have a 2-man advantage. Yes, they have significant advantage, but they haven't won the round. Shox is alone towards the B bomb site, but it's Shox, and that is a problem in itself. Existence blind. Existence eliminated, and now we've got basically a 3+ versus 1 wherever they choose to go. 40 seconds remain. The bomb's starting to move into B apartments. Shox with an off angle. We saw his bursts from the car position inside B. I wouldn't be surprised. We've got 2 frags here. Angel taking out. Does he hit Isa? He does, but Isa trades.
And you just wonder if Shox gets that kill, what could happen. But he picks one up as well. This is the first round of overtime 2, and there is an argument for Body in a 1v3 here to go back and find the AWP that Existence dropped on short and just save it into the next round. It is costly for the CTs to buy, generally speaking, and especially in overtime. If you lose those first 2 rounds of CT, you don't really have the ability to buy up in the third, so not properly at least with an AWP. So the save here is going to go a long way. And
escape to victory.
Yeah, it's a shame that when we see Existence have the AWP, you can clearly see he's really just grasping at straws. He's trying to do all sorts of desperate stuff to somehow get G2 back in the round. And you got to credit Hellraisers too, because Hellraisers covered all of their bases. There was nothing that could go wrong in that last round. They made sure of it. What on earth is that? Woxic is something else.
The woes of the CT side. Everybody is subject to them. In that sense, it's fair. Kenyes will continue with the AWP in this round, and Woxic will still have the terror of the mid doors. They're delaying their push. I feel so bad for anybody running through those doors past Woxic. Henry's a dab hand and a gap shot as well, so you better make sure your smokes are down. I actually landed a gap shot this week, so good for me. 3 players on the A site for G2, and they start to get aggressive. If somebody does have a look from Hellraisers here, Kenny can fall into the slope if he wants to. Almost 4 players on short for Hellraisers. Shox will hear some of this. He's playing anti-flash for the time being, having a look at the flashbang, but he can't get any kills.
And they're starting to sail in. Somehow that they doesn't do quite as much damage as it possibly could with 5 players standing there. Existence listening in. He's close to short, so he can hear if there's a rotation. That's part of his job, which is why he was closer to the wall just a moment ago. And G2 know the options right now of Hellraisers. They go for an immediate B split, or they go for a re-execution onto the A side. Obviously, those are the 2 options that they can play for. GT needs to know really which is which.
Body just saw 2 players moving backwards on short. So not Body, whoever jumped past the middle doors, and Body punished it. I wonder what the read was of the information from G2. Where are they going? What are they trying to do? Now Shox is getting aggressive. Yeah, that is a shot from Body, so the HUD just needs a quick reset. Anyway, we've got Existence on the B bomb site on his own. Hello, Dead Fox trying to bait, not expecting Existence to be that far forward. Now, I don't know if Existence heard the other 2 players there, but he's heard some footsteps now, surely starting to creep out. They need to swing wide as he's delaying. He's buying time for his teammates, and they're all rotating in, but they're not needed. Existence with 2 more frags, and that will be the round for his side.
Good stuff from Existence there. That was a lovely finish. G2, they're really coming to life now after having a poor go of it in the first round. Being very active. Hellraisers off the back of that default, they couldn't really feel like they could find a comfortable way, it seemed, to finish on that B split. And then again is the credit to G2. We're seeing just from...
Oh, goodbye!
Oh man. But we're seeing from both of these teams a really high level, but they are so closely matched. And in goes Issa, pushing forwards. Looks like G2 are ready for this dart forwards, though, on the long position. And they're going to shut it down. That's going to even things up to 4 and 4. But the damage has been done here to Hellraisers. Those nades really connecting.
Big grenades. And with 1 player going past towards the pit as well for the CT side, it was hard for Hellraisers to continue to commit into that position. And Body, again with the aggressive plays, only good for the 1 frag, though. 2 would have been huge for the G2 team. But it was just the 1. The bomb spotted in T-spawn with a minute 15 on the clock. Can't read too much into that, G2. Now Shox will be towards a Existence mid and Kenny SB with an AWP. So they have fair cover, but wherever they choose to engage Hellraisers, they should have a numbers advantage. And that is an issue. Woxic has full grenades top mid, so he can throw a pop flash for Angel to peek double doors. Now he's holding it. Would love to see the flashbang, but no. It will be a free kill for Existence, but it will be a trade for Woxic. Both players now spotted in the mid position, and G2 start to close in on them.
Oh, Kenny will make it very difficult though, and I think Shox is close enough to hear all the running here from Bondik, so he's just slowly but surely creeping up from behind. Bondik unsure if there's anyone on the side, making all the noise in the world. So plenty of time here for the dynamic duo of Shox and Kenny S to shut this one down, but you never know. Bondik is very solid, and all it takes is 2 bullets, effectively. That's going to be a problem though. Oh my god, just grenaded into oblivion. That's one way to finish it off, and G2 going to 20 rounds.
I really don't think that Hellraisers had much to lose by throwing a flash through the double doors and having Angel at least have a look. Doesn't even need to go through the doors, because of course it might not flash every position, but I mean, that would have been some audio information which maybe they didn't want to give up, but I don't know. I think there was value in it, because jumping onto the Xbox, I mean, the timing was off for him, but I don't know. I mean, Woxic had 4 grenades, so I would have liked to have seen 1 used. And now G2 move around the head of their opponents. Woxic will have an AWP once more. Shock's now on 40 kills and Issa's on 38, so he's got some catching up to do. They've been neck and neck for pretty much the entire match.
Yeah, it's just been, these two teams has just been inseparable, which is awesome. It's really cool to see. I mean, again, they said it on the desk, you know, despite obviously most people picking Hellraisers, and that was just because we had more info on Hellraisers, honestly. But otherwise, the sentiment is that this match could be one of the hardest to predict, one of the closest matches today, and I think it's I mean, absolutely delivering that into the overtime too, so we can't get too much closer than that. Kenny S now looking for those gap shots. Woxic was he was pretty consistently picking people off, and that's scary. Kenny S unable to replicate Woxic's performance in that regard. And G2 again starting off with a default in this round.
Dead Fox took some damage from somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. Woxic will be towards the car on A. Bondic long. All business as usual for Hellraisers. Angel in CT. It's been great. The demonstration of game sense we've seen from Angel in some of the games last week has been fantastic to watch. One of the old heads, if you will, in Counter-Strike at the moment. Issa and Dead Fox deep in the B bomb site. And we have Smith left in a boosted position, perhaps to catch people off guard if the CTs try to go for some aggression on short. 1 minute mark for G2. And they have not had any engagements by the CTs. They're just waiting for G2 to make their play, it seems.
Yeah, and for G2, they play some of these slow rounds, but we'll remember that it won the quarters by surprise. They lost with timeout. So hopefully they don't run into that problem again. Existence opens up onto Angel. That's the CT player gone. Issa, though, ever consistent. He is dangerous. Dead Fox comes out, but Issa's the one that keeps delivering. My God! 3 kills now from Issa as he continues to damage G2. And he's leaving an indelible mark on this round as it's just one player left after he gets 4 kills. Shocks in the 1v2. You wouldn't want anybody else.
Such a long rotation. Bondic's the one with the flashbangs. There he goes. And now Woxic remains. AK for both players. He's convinced Woxic is coming from the doors. Having a quick look though towards... Oh! He's still alive. He's got half his health. He needs the headshot shocks. Woxic though will be good for it. What another fantastic display of skill from Issa. 4 kills from him in a ridiculous situation.
He's so good. It's crazy.
And there we are. Issa and Shocks both on 42 kills. Unbelievable performances from both of them, but 4 kills on that B bomb site. Issa, such a tight angle on that first player. Always aware of a potential split. Goes wide peak for the second one. Back to tunnel for the third. Gets his reload in. And still good for the fourth. Giving himself as much cover as he can. And he holds Hellraisers. He keeps them in that. There was such a long rotation. Woxic was coming out of long doors. And now Kenny S with a shot onto Issa. That's one way to stop him.
Yeah, they're finally able to live up to Woxic's standard. Getting a lot of kills through the gap. Very impressive indeed. That was a perfect round to be split, but you just don't expect that one guy to 1v4 you. So I love this. You know, if you feel that situation where you lose a player early, you want to take a risk, trying to take some control of Dark. That's going to eliminate exactly what G2 are up to. They know it has to be an A play at this point. But can they stop it? It's still going to be very strong, this push into the bomb site from G2.
Dead Fox will be left in the lower tunnel positions. Missed top mid, but now Woxic's being picked off though, all the way. That's really far away. That's got to be frustrating, and that's surely the round for G2. 5 versus 1, and Hellraisers, they won't survive with any players in that round. How on earth did Woxic get taken out there? He was rotating down the slope from B. He was a really key player on that rotation. Beautiful. That's got to be really frustrating for the side. Body delivering from on A. And the look from Smiths. Vintage stuff. Leaving the T top mid to cut off the players jumping onto the Xbox. That puts G2 one round ahead. Can they get to round number 22? Now the spam is here and Dead Fox will get taken out. At least one player will make it towards the B bomb site. Such is the nature of the T rounds, and it's G2 at match point now.
I can't believe it. The auto sniper gets the kill. That's crazy. You just don't ever see it. The auto sniper come out. That's some dust to you.
No one deserves to lose this match.
Shenanigans for you. Yeah, it's crazy. It's how close this game has been. I can't believe it. Issa's been such an incredible anchor on that B bomb site. It's been so fun to watch him playing those positions. G2 with all the advantages here. A 5v4, over a minute to play the 5v4 with, is Hellraisers who are in desperation. They have a setup on the short position. They could live and die by this. This setup won them around before. Can it do it again now as Woxic gets flashed this time? He picks up one, but it's just one. He has to fall back and away from the position, and they know that he's lurking around there with the AWP.
Angel delivering a kill in mid, looking for more, but Kenny will punish him for doing so. And now where do G2 choose to go? Avoiding Woxic may be part of the plan. They have just under a minute on the clock here, and Kenyas and Smiths are rotating towards long, so it will be a split attempt of the A bomb site. There is a smoke on shorts at the moment, and Woxic's in CT spawn. Body on shorts itself, so it's going to be a 2 versus 3. Woxic and Isa though, would you ask for any other players? And a flashbang may concede Woxic's position, and his timing has to be perfect. Trying to use what might be a smoke for the tease, but the smoke didn't come fast enough, and he felt vulnerable. Going down the slope, going back up again, does he realise that the short player is on the site, moving into the smoke? Body saw him just in time, and now Isa is alone in the 1 versus 3.
He's done some disgusting things in this game, but this surely has to be the ultimate test for this match for Isa. Horribly difficult 1v3 retake, picks up the AK. He's against an AWP and 2 AKs. The one taps have to be with him absolutely in this situation. The incendiary to try. Oh my god, that is an amazing start, but it will come to a close very quickly, and G2 edge it out in overtime too. What an incredibly hard fought game by both teams. We saw a level, I think, for me personally, I didn't expect from both teams.
Yeah, we saw the surprise from G2 that we were looking for, but that was a fantastic game of Dust 2. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that. We saw humongous...
that I'm not proud of, and I will try to make my level higher for the next game.
All right, excited to see it. Final question then. Overall, how are things growing under the leadership of X6?
Definitely it feels good. I think we all...
Let's roll.
Lit, man.
Very good. Very nice. One less mercenary, thanks to you. Nice shot. Nice shooting.
kanan. Uti. Mana? Mana hang? Apa? Ini. Tahan mati. Oh, ini aku ni. Oh, dunia aku lagi. Ada jangan. Sana ka? Aku ban. Yun yung bago. Tahu mereka. Ini aku. Ish, ini. Kau nak hati ni? Ini gila kan? Easy gila. Jumpa kuat TV tu. Kalau boleh lah. Tak datang. Ini dia kacau. Mak. Mati bet ni. Aku tak. Hai dah.
Very good shot.
Kena. Ada dua kat sana. Babi lah. Aku belakang. Ini ya. Betul. Biji mana tu? Sensitivity screen. Baik. Ai nampak. Ya. Kering baut. Civilian dia. Best. Lagi bah.
You got him.
Come on. Oh, aku lag tu. Center lag kan. Tengok apa yang 1400 kan. Ini mak anak kawang kau.
Counter-terrorists win. Nice shot. Great hit. Very good shot. שיחקת טוב. Great hit. Good one. Very good shot.
Dạo này kêu nữa.
Nice.
Then we've got Quick. I don't know who was next in the row, but the other one is Boomich.
Boomich instead of Boomfly.
Yes.
Boomich.
Yes.
I hope James and Dan are taking notes.
They will have the pronunciations down pat.
Okay.
I think that they'll be perfectly fine on that.
What's the first one again?
Let's roll.
The first one.
Throwing flashbang. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Yes. Negative.
That's when guys.
No. Negative. That's a negative. Grenade out. Deploying flashbang. Throwing a grenade.
Long.
Target acquired.
Counter-terrorists win.
Bro. Shit.
Deploying decoy.
Nice.
Lock and load. That's a negative. Incendiary out.
Mid. Mid आ गया, mid to B.
This is it, my friends. Throwing fire. Bomb has been planted. Let's go.
This fucker has again started.
Let's go, people. flashbang.
Short back.
Move it. Laying down smoke. Grenade out. Incendiary. Bomb has been planted.
Keeping low.
Defusing. I'm defusing the bomb. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. We're wasting time. Let's go. Throwing smoke. Throwing fire. Fire in the hole. out. Throwing smoke. Deploying flashbang.
बॉम्ब ड्रॉप टी-स्पॉन के पास
Terrorists win. Let's go. Incendiary. Flashbang. Deploying flashbang. Incendiary out. Grenade. Counter-terrorists win. Our mission is simple. Take them out. Grenade out. Throwing a grenade. Throwing fire. Throwing fire. Grenade out. Incendiary. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. Form up. Let's go. Laying down smoke. Throwing flashbang. Grenade. Throwing flashbang. Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole.
बी
Throwing fire. Deploying flashbang.
बी पे एक रहा है बस सारे हो जाओ स्पॉन पे है वाला भैया
Terrorists win. Bomb has been planted. Grab your gear and let's take it easy. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Throwing fire. Flashbang. Incendiary out. Incendiary. Bomb has been planted.
गलती प्री भाई गलती प्री यार रिपोर्ट मारो मादर को क्या कर रहे हो
Let's get this done. Throwing fire. Throwing flashbang.
अबे भी जा जल्दी मादर चौथ
Flashbang.
अबे मिड
Terrorists win. We defeat.
Oh. Tycho having a look. He can quickly rotate out of the window, as evidenced by the rotation out of the window. A pistol round from Windstrike. Again, they're just trying to get some impact here. There are still, let's say, 4 rounds to fight for because this is a non-round at this point. So if they can get some damage in, every frag is $6,000 roughly in value. Jimka and Valina have managed to make their way into the B bomb site and they're going to flank on Liege. Somehow, the Glock's getting to work here. Liege turning around. StarCraft aim though, can't shut that down. That is round number 8 for Team Liquid. Nothing doing there for Windstrike, no plant, no frags, but they will be back on the buy once again. Lost bonus is middling at the moment, but they'll have some grenades as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The Krieg comes back out onto Boomich. I think we had some stats from last week. I think the Krieg was bought maybe like twice or something. So we're getting Boomich, really ramping up those stats, and we'll see whether or not it will be stolen. Stolen from him. Liege seemed like he's keen to get it in his hands, and Nitro with the jump across is going to start things off well for the Liquid. Picks off waterfalls, and Team Liquids, they don't have too much to worry about. Just Valina in middle here, and we'll see whether or not it will be the case that Winstrike can somehow build on this mid control, although it's limited.
In the meantime, so Boomich keeps fighting the Krieg, and he's trying to take a duel with a player playing CT on A, but not quite getting anything done. And now Boomich remains with Jumka. Another round where one by one they get picked off. Teko will be forced from his position with a flashbang. He's going to stand his ground for a time. He'll fall back eventually. There's Boomich with the Krieg. It's pretty awkward to use at close range, especially when you're not scoped. Like, personally, I have no idea what's going on when I'm not scoped in. There's a nice scope on that skin as well. The one, the racing decals, whatever you call it, livery, I think it's called, is amazing. The scope actually has some nice work on it as well. And there we go. Another round where 4 players survive for Team Liquid. This is a pedestrian game of Counter-Strike for them so far.
Yep, absolutely. It's just, you know, running through the routines and just, you know, getting it done. Again, you know, as Chad said, you know, I agree with him. So Chad thinks they'll win the major. So I'm not 100% sure if I agree with that, but I definitely feel like to get to the finals. So
it's a reasonable statement, Dan. I was trying to bait you into there's some offensive wordplay. Another round of pistols from Winstrike. They've lost a player already, and Teko will take a duel towards the
creeping through connector. Creeping. But there's only so far you can creep before the bouncers take you away. And Team Liquid, they've really given up a lot of space here, and this is really cool because what Liquid are doing is playing incredibly safe. There's 4 players left on the team. There is not a crack in their defense in the sense. You know, Twist is in a position where he can see pretty much all the A's side, but he's not going to get caught out of position shot in the back. No one's going to get shot in the back with the current Liquid setup, and that's one of the good things about it. You give a lot of space to the T's, but they don't have much utility and they don't have good guns. So that space isn't as good, but if you're able to get a drive-by P250 headshot, maybe, just maybe, you can make something happen.
10 bullets left for Eluge. That's enough for some more frags. Some of these players have Kevlar. There'll be no more frag. Okay, so it's Twist alone now. Rifles collected by Winstrike, and this is really important for them. This is a lot more than they could have asked for in this round, and they need rounds. Who knows what the second half will be like for Winstrike? They could take people by surprise, so let's not expect both halves to be this dominant. You never know. Twist giving some audio cues away, but again, he's against players with no Kevlar, so it's going to be a hard one for Jimka to deal with. Twist, I need to identify where the T is. Does he peek immediately? No, Jimka, not straight away. He peeks to Twist right, and he overexposes himself, but he's still alive, and that might be enough to win the round. Jumping USP is not quite going to hit the mark there. I think he shot him in the head. I don't know, but either way, it is a round for Winstrike. No one will survive, but the round is theirs. I don't know what to really make of that round, but it's a round.
Well, that's a couple cheeky pistol rounds that have gone better for Winstrike than any of their buy rounds, really. Boomich still going to this Krieg repeatedly, which is kind of cool to see. We'll see, though, again, whether they can convert now that they'll be buy against buy. And it seems like, okay, so before I was talking about schools of thought when you're in Liquid's position. Liquid are playing against a team that they know they are much better than on paper and in practice, it would have, seemingly. And so you can either try to play as safe as you want and just massively capitalize and exploit and punish mistakes the other team makes, or you can actually try to overwhelm them and try to disrupt them and just make it really difficult and create horribly difficult decisions for them to make, which you can also capitalize upon. That's what you can do by playing very aggressively and by taking pushes and leveraging your individual skill that's overall better. So they've chosen typically here the first option, the former, which is to just try to play relatively safe, not go for any big risks. We haven't really seen much risk taking on the CT side of Liquid here. They're just trying to play very standard. And I think also there's an argument that this is a matchup where they don't have to show anything. If they have anything prepared that opponents who are studying them, who are more difficult later on down the line, might look at this demo, they're not going to see anything that Liquid are doing that they can exploit later on. Standard stuff here from Liquid, except now they go to double ops. And this is a good response to double ops, James. Just smoke off everything.
Alright, then Winstrike. They start to move in. Always important to have that smoke on the bench position so the CTs can't creep behind it. Starting to move in now. The bomb needs to go down fast because the smokes are starting to disappear. Nav having a look from the jungle position. The lead's running distraction in the meantime, and the bomb has been planted. There's one smoke for Nav, and he won't quite get that frag. 3 players remaining for Winstrike. Make it 2. Make it 1. And what does Boomich even do in this situation? Does he? I mean, at this point, the round is over. But he's still going towards the ramp. The economic impact is irrelevant, and I think he should just save his weapon. Really, there are 2 rounds remaining in this half, and now he's got $2,700. So I don't know what the point of that was.
Best not to think about it, James. But Liquid, they're going to throw away one. Yeah, they threw away one of the orbs. Oh well. A couple of rounds left in this half, and Liquid, still not really seemingly to be being pressed in any sense. Looks very comfortable for them, and this is compared to the tension we had in the previous matchup, it's quite a contrast. That G2 Hellraisers game, definitely, if you missed that one, is definitely the best Dust 2 game I think I've seen so far since New Dust 2. A really, really cool matchup. Chris cleaning up the pistols here. Our Team Liquid, it's an easy affair. And we move into the final round of the first half. Liquid's very, very well positioned for the 12-3 finish.
Chew Master Twist. So chewing helps people focus.
Yeah, so
we understand.
I haven't looked at any studies behind it yet, but I know that it's something one of the old Quake 4 champions, Toxic, it's the first time I saw it, and he won in a very, very competitive time. I think like 8+ tournaments in a row. No one could touch him. It was actually amazing. And he used to chew gum as well. And then the reasoning is apparently motorcyclists do it as well, and it was a thing in apparently the motorcycle community. Again, correct me if I'm wrong.
To keep focus and alert.
It is to increase focus, and I think part of that is imagine if you have any nervous energy, or if you're it's sort of like fidgeting, it's a good routined outlet to sort of keep you in a more mindful state.
Fidgeting, you say? Because
imagine if you're just holding an angle, James. We have this issue where you can get kind of stale on that angle, and you can get a bit slow. Your mind will start to drift. If you're chewing, you're constantly sort of doing something low-key,
That spread of the Molotov behind the boxes was perfect. Absolutely clean. Something to look out for. That's sometimes why you don't see the fastest of mid-takes. Because if you are forced into the open, if you are driven like a pheasant from the green, then you may be taken out of the sky. It's a nice peek from Waterfalls, but nothing doing just yet. AWP spotted in Palace, and Winstrike seem to be moving to some sort of A execute. A with smokes, perhaps. The fabled A with smokes.
Well, that's a really important frag. That's the lurker dead. And now the push, they're trying to make the push happen. The flick is missed by Waterfalls. And it's a struggle now to get onto the bomb site. And the superior numbers here for the CT side will also pose an issue. Twist picks up one more, and that's the 12-3 for Team Liquid. Very simple affair for Team Liquid so far. Not too much to say about this game, really, for Winstrike. Their T side, there's been sort of a distinct lack of pressure, I would say, on the T side. A lack of sort of creating mid-round decisions where you can see that Liquid have themselves some hard decisions or things seem to be obscure and they'll have to make some guesses. It's not really been like that. It's mostly just been Team Liquid. It just means playing safe. They're able to deal with everything.
Everything in its right place. Hashtag Radiohead.
Yeah. So as you say, James, we move into the CT side now for Winstrike, and perhaps they can show us something else.
5 sets of Kevlar for Winstrike. 3 players going towards the A site versus the 2 of Team Liquid in their pistol round. And the entire Team Liquid squad is here. They want to close this one out fast, it seems. Oh, they're ready for it. They've got a numbers advantage, and Twist is good for a 2k, but there's one more to find. Waterfalls in the ninja position, or ninja if you are Nordic. Oh, so close. He was about to take the headshot, but Twist moved just at the last second, and that will be brutal. That's so annoying. You line it up, you're like, okay, I've been really careful about this. I'm about to click the mouse. No, he's moved. Oh, crap.
Yeah, and also when people have their backs to you, headshots I don't know.
I feel like you have to aim for the top of the neck in that situation.
It's just really weird, isn't it? It's really weird.
So when I'm playing pistol DM, you don't hit anything unless you aim for the bottom of the top of the neck, rather. Twist finally eliminated after a 3k performance. There's no diffuse kit. Again, everybody picks up Kevlar for Winstrike, and everyone will fall for the Winstrike team. The missiles are faulty. 13-3, 10-round lead for Team Liquid. All the advantages. Do we see a force every round for Winstrike? What do you choose to do in this situation? How many options are there, even reasonably speaking, when you are 3 for 13 on the CT side and you lose the pistol?
I think you have to force buy every round, just because you're, as you said, like you're so far behind. You're like either you put it all on one round, and maybe you're gonna win that round 50% of the time, or you spread it out. You spread your risk, even though the risk is greater. You still spreading the risk can be potentially better. I'm not a mathematician, so I wouldn't actually be able to tell you mathematically what would be the best thing to do, but I guess as part of Counter-Strike 2, oh hang on, we do actually make some frags here, it seems, for Winstrike with this force buy, with these CZs, and UMP is collected, although Twist is kind of just walking back into that choke point, and we've got Liquid just gathering once again, rallying for this A push, regrouping, looking to close things down. We've got Quick and Boomich on the bomb sites, looking to offer up that defense. Both playing Shadow as well. This could work out for them, although, as I say that, the Molotov is prepared, is ready. That'll make things very difficult indeed. Nitro picks up the one. Both players now spotted. Twist there to put in the finishing blows. He can't do it though. It's up to the UMP of NAF, so this is getting quite close indeed. Bullets running out, and Winstrike will pick up the round indeed.
Okay, collected. Is there anything for the 5-7 player UMP in the last second? So there is something, and the money sucks for Team Liquid, so the force buy has worked for the time being. A man like Boomich. That's a nice shot.
Bish bash.
Gotta love a deagle. We were going to do a Sounds of CSGO for the Desert Eagle, but the one which was available to us had this big thing, some kind of like sight hanging off the end of it, so we chose not to do it. And the second time the Desert Eagle was broken in Vegas, so it will come eventually. Jimka on the balcony. That's a really nice peek from him. There's no flashbang ready though, and that allows the T to get closer than they otherwise might have. And that could be a problem. The numbers game working out Team Liquid so far. But can Boomich be traded by Team Liquid? He can. Headshots galore. Waterfalls, has he been hurt? I think he has now. Taco doing a 180. Oh, that smoke is very brutal indeed, and still the headshots ring in.
Yeah, you hate to see that. You drop the smoke, and then you get shot in the face through the smoke. Lovely. Yes, not a good situation for Valina, and he'll take down the Liege, and you kind of have to go for this now. I mean, again, you're behind so many rounds, you have no money at all. He has a kit and a flashbang. You know, I think it could be worth a go, but he will decide to back away here. There's just no optimal decision. Pretty much everything is an enormous risk at this point for you just losing the game. So it will be the case that we'll see Liquid on 14 rounds now to the 4 of Windstrike to get the bomb down, which will afford them, of course, well, okay, the bomb detonated, which affords them the round win, which now allows them just enough money to buy. You actually get more money if you win by bomb detonation than elimination, and it's a difference about $250. So you get 3,500 instead of 3,250. And with that extra bit of cash, they'll be able to get all the nades they want.
14-4. Uphill struggle, to put it mildly, for Windstrike team. 2 AKs for Team Liquid. Elige has a FAMAS. UMP onto Nafly. 3 AKs in fact for Team Liquid.